Hi everyone, it's Goddess Enchantments here, and today I'm doing another video from my notebook of most requested videos, and that is about smudging and energy clearing. So I've been asked, can I make it comprehensive? And I really don't want it to be a massively long video, but I fear this could get a little bit long. But I will do my best to keep it short, but get all the information in there. So, okie dokie, energy clearing, smudging, not the same thing. Now, people use the terms interchangeably, and there's nothing wrong with that, to be honest with you. You can, it really, it's a finicky thing, but I do think it's good to know the differences, and especially if it's something that you want to explore on a deeper level. So, smudging would generally refer to the use of smoke to clear energy, a place, a person, an item. Energy clearing is the blanket term for clearing a room, clearing a space, clearing a person, clearing an object. So think smoke for smudging, and energy clearing is the blanket term that encompasses all the different methods to clear energy. So firstly, why would we clear energy? Well, us as humans, as well as all the things around us, are constantly in flux. We all have our own vibration. We are surrounded by the vibrations of other people, other things, the environment we're in. We're constantly bombarded by energy. Now, this affects our own vibration, our own energy, or that of our tools, our home, etc. So if we just leave it and we go about our daily lives and we never clear our energy, our space's energy, then this is when you can find yourself becoming moody, grumpy, feeling anxious or depressed in your space, finding that your magical tools are not working well for you, finding your tarot cards are suddenly giving you really off readings if you're reading for clients, or even if you're doing card pulls for yourself. What's coming up is literally not making sense. It's not a case of you're not able to read the cards, it's a case of that's just not even within the realms of what should be coming up. And that's all energy, generally lower vibrations, lower energy frequencies, other people's negativity, negative energy affecting you. Things like yourself and crystals, for example, are very, for want of a better term, absorbent. So we are absorbing, if you want to use that word, or it's getting attached to us. Our crystals are constantly adjusting and picking up and changing and transmuting all the energies around us. People touch them or come into contact with them, come through our house, for example. Your house is another thing that's like a large sponge. The walls of a house, when you go house hunting, if you're looking for a new home, there is times when you'll walk into a space and, you know, on paper, maybe it's got everything you want. It's got the exact amount of bedrooms you want. It's got the garden you want. But you just walk in and you're like, no, I don't like this house. And you leave because you're sensing the energy, something from the previous owners, which has been absorbed into that environment. So by clearing energy on a regular basis, you're systematically doing a reset, whether it be on yourself, on your tools, on your home. You're taking any low vibrations, any negative energies, any stagnant energies, any negative entities, and you are pretty much sweeping them out, getting rid of them, neutralizing them, moving them on, sending them down into the earth might be one of your ways to do it. And resetting the space. Now, something that people don't talk about very often, particularly here on YouTube, is what comes next. Because the questions I get a lot is, I've cleared my house, I've done a full clearing this weekend, and it's 2 days later, and it felt better for like a day, and now it's just back to how it was. Do I need to do something, you know, more? Should I have done more smudging? Should I have done 3 different types of energy clearing? What should I do? And it's because you've done the energy clearing process and then you've stopped. Now, if you've got a space that is full of energy, some of it, of course, is going to be good. Let's take your home, for example. Your home, you're sensing it needs clearing. Some energies are going to be good in there. They're going to be good vibrations, but there's also going to be low vibrations. Maybe you had the in-laws over the week before and it didn't go so well. The kids have been yelling at each other. The dog's been barking. Your husband's had the worst day at work ever and he's come home and he's been in a foul mood and it's been a very hectic time for you. Then all that stuff you want to clear. So you do the clearing and now you've got an empty space. Now what happens is if you leave that space empty, all those things that you've removed are going to come creeping back in. Creeping in, creeping in, creeping in. And what's going to creep in first? The lower vibrations, the lower energies, because they're the ones that are naturally hanging around looking for any opportunity to attach themselves. Any kind of conflict, any kind of emotions. All these things are coming in and out of your house on a daily basis, affected by your work, affected by your family dynamics, a phone call you've had. If you've got that big empty space, those energies are going to refill it. So what you need to do is, once you have cleared the energy, and we'll talk about the methods of that in a moment, you refill the space with high vibrational energy. Now this, for me, is the most important step of your energy clearing, because the smudging, if you want to use smudge, or clearing the room using salt or an aura spray or something like that, yes, you have to be focused, yes, you have to be methodical, and you have to go around and you have to do it. But the bit after that is what's going to keep that space clear. It's what's going to keep that space sacred. Turn your home into a sacred space. Keep it protected so that you're not doing energy clearings once a week of the whole house, because you really shouldn't be having to do it that soon. So there are several ways to do this, and I'm actually starting, as you can see, at the back first, because this part gets missed so often. I really feel it's important to work back to front in this case, so that if you don't make it through the whole video, you'll have at least heard this bit. Now, a way I like to do it is I actually use, and you may have heard me talk about this before in my group or in another video, I like to use selenite, and one of those methods is my selenite tea light holders. I have 2 of these. I actually worked really hard to get a couple for the shop. I think there's only 1 left now. Low vibration cannot survive around selenite. So once I've cleared a room or a space, obviously I do it room by room and I have more than 1 of these. But for example, I would do this room, I would clear its energy. I would sit this down. Let's move some things. My beautiful selenite tea light holder with a white natural tea light inside. There's some essential oils in there because I make these myself. And then I would light it. I would focus on that light. I would use my third eye to see the selenite glowing. It will be glowing anyway from the candle, but see the light, the energy and the pure vibration of this high vibrational stone, and see that bright white light energy coming out from the tea light holder, from the selenite, and filling the space of my room. And while I'm doing this, I'll be asking that the room be filled with bright white high vibrational energy. And I will do that for as long as it needs to get into every nook and cranny of the room. So that's one way to do it. You don't need a tea light holder to do that, but to do it I do find you need a substantial piece of selenite. This is short of the little hole. I'm losing my little thing. Little hole for the tea light. This is absolutely solid selenite. So you're going to want a substantial piece of this if you want to use selenite. I also have a selenite sphere that I use for this exact purpose as well. So that's one method you can do. Another is to literally stand in the center of the room that you have just cleared. You can start in whatever direction. People are disagreeing at times about which direction to start in. So whichever direction you feel called to. Maybe you don't feel called to any particular direction. You just want to face one way and go with it. I leave that up to you. But turn one direction. Place both hands facing outwards at your side. And you want to call in white, pure, high vibrational light. See that coming in through the ceiling, through you, out through your hands, and fill your room with this light. Call in what you want for the room. Call in positive energy. Call in a happy home. Call in protection. Call in those energies that you want to be filling your space. So that's two reasonably simple ways. There are others, and maybe you have your own, maybe you want to research it, maybe you have something that just comes naturally to you, a way that you can adapt one of these methods to do so. Maybe you don't want to use light, maybe you just want to verbally call in the energies that you want to now fill this space and set the intention for the space if that's how you like to work. It's really important. Clear the space, then fill the space with the intended energy that you want there. That way you'll find that when you do a house clearing or a room clearing or a sacred space clearing, that space clearing will hold and your sacred space will be set, be that your home, be it a magical space, etc., etc. Now the same thing can be done with your tools. You can smudge a crystal, and if you've watched my other video you will have heard me talk about how I usually like to clear my crystal with whatever method I'm using, be it smudge, be it my energy clearing oils or room spray, etc. And then I like to affirm that the crystal is now clear, may it be blessed and used only for the highest good. So these affirmations, when clearing your tool, clearing anything, to reaffirm the energy you do want attached to that tool. So that's my kind of little lecture on the second part. Let's get to the actual energy clearing itself, because if you've not done it before, then that may be why you're here at the video. But that still makes me insanely happy that I've covered the last bit first. So you really do get this right. And you are not one of the people messaging me saying, why is the space not clear? Why is my objects not being cleared? So there are many, many ways to clear energy. Now the obvious is Californian white sage, which we have here. But there are many other forms of smudge sticks if you want to use smoke. There is cedar, there is desert sage, we have got some sweetgrass in here, some mugwort, lavender, rosemary, thyme. You can even use sage from your garden if you dry it. Bundle it with some lavender, let that hang and dry, and you've got yourself a beautiful homemade smudge stick. Californian white sage often brings up some debates. There are those that feel people who are not Native American should not use this sacred herb because it is very sacred to Native American tribes. I'm not going to get into that because I don't really want to get into politics and debates on all things like this. I will just say for my personal practice, I do use it. But I do use a farmed Californian white sage from California that is also organic. The white sage plants in California have been decimated thanks to the New Age market. Because Californian white sage is worth so much money, people that live out there or live close enough to travel to where these sage bushes naturally grow have literally gone and killed all the plants. Now, this to me is not spiritual. That is people doing it for monetary gain, and they've not even taken the time to learn about the plant itself, which is why I really do warn against the ethics of Californian white sage. Although it is one of my favourites, I source it very carefully. You cannot harvest from a white sage bush before it is 2 years old. If you do, the entire plant will die. After it's 2 years old, if you take more than a third from that plant, the entire plant will die. That's how serious it is. So imagine these people going out there thinking they're going to make some money selling sage sticks on Etsy, and they just take virtually an entire plant thinking, oh, if I leave a couple of stalks, you know, it will replenish itself. They don't, they die. So do source carefully if you want to use white sage, if you are drawn to it. It is a wonderful herb to use. I find that pretty much no low vibrations, low energies can survive around white sage. It is truly a wonderful clearer. However, there are many others that you can use. Rosemary, like I said, cedar, desert sage, garden sage, lavender. Make your own smudge sticks if that's something that talks to you. A smudge fan is very handy because obviously once this is smoking, you want to fan it across the items you're clearing or around the room. If you're clearing an item, that's, I think, pretty simple. Say we were clearing a stone, we would say whatever it is that we say during our clearing. Like I said to you before, if it's a crystal or a magical tool or something, you might want to state that you're clearing any low vibrations, any energies that are not for your highest good. They're being cleared from the stone. Then once you've cleared it, bless it with white light. Ask that it only be used blah, 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 however you want to word it. I don't give you too much because it's important to develop your own practices, your own words, because they'll be more energetically connected to you. Now, if you're clearing a room and you're using smoke, then again, you want a smudge stick, you can, as a fan, you can use your hand. You want to do the entire room. Open the windows if you're doing a full cleanse, because obviously it's going to get pretty smoky, and disable your smoke alarms. Remember to put them back together again once you have finished smudging. Very important. Open your windows and you want to do the entire room, working your way clockwise all around the room, doing corners, up and down, ceilings, floor level, mid-level, coming into the center of the room. You want to cover the entire room. Again, making your statements of intention for what you're doing. So that's smoke. You can have a lot of fun making smudge sticks with kids as well. Obviously, they should not be smudging unless they're old enough to be doing so, but little children should not. But they can help you make them, and you can teach them about energy clearing at the same time. Now on to oh no, actually I'm going to do one other because it comes under the category of smoke clearing, and that would be incense. Now, incense, you can use resins. Frankincense and copal are absolutely perfect for clearing energy. You can use dragon's blood, you can use myrrh. There are so many resins. Experiment with their properties and what speaks to you and what it is that you're trying to achieve. Ideally, you would burn these on some natural bamboo charcoal if you want to use charcoal, or an incense chimney that you've often seen in my videos, or an electric burner because there are chemicals in the quick light charcoals. That also brings me to dipped stick incense, which again is made with perfume oils. Some are not suitable to be burnt, but there's no actual legislation around it, particularly in India where a lot of these sticks are made. And when we're clearing energy, we are clearing low vibrations. Now, things like chemicals, which includes fragrance oils or chemicals added to quick light charcoal, are low vibration items. So they're not something you would use to clear an item. You wouldn't take a chemical incense stick and use that to clear the energy of your home, because you're just adding to low vibrations. Just like you wouldn't go and get, I don't know, a can of petrol and put your crystals in it to clear them. That's just not a pure energy. It's not a good energy. It's not an energy you're going to want to put into your crystals. So think about what you're using. You can absolutely use natural incense sticks, natural incense cones that are made with herbs, resins, essential oils, Japanese mako powder, any of those self-lighting natural incenses would be great. If you've dried some lavender stalks and things like that, you can use those. They're also wonderful. So that's another smoke method, and you can use that in the same way. Wafting, clearing. It's particularly handy for clearing crystals or magical tools because you can waft it through the smoke. You want to hold your crystal. It's fine to waft, but a good way to do it is hold your crystal and let the smoke engulf it. For self-clearing, obviously we can use smoke from incense and smudge for that as well. And you want to smudge yourself from head to toe, front and back, remembering to do your hands, because these are what you're working with. These are what's really getting in there energy-wise, and your feet, because they tread your path. So again, when you're thinking about clearing energy, think of clearing the whole, not just part. So that's our smoke options. Then our non-smoke options, which maybe you don't like the smell of any kind of burning herbs. Maybe you have asthma or another medical condition where you can't use them. Young children, young pets are in the space. Always, if you are doing full cleansings, I mean, if you're going to clear one crystal with a bit of smudge, then you'll be okay with like your dog sitting over in the corner in his bed. But if you are doing full house clearings, remove all animals from the vicinity, remove children from the vicinity. I think that goes without saying. But if you can't have smoke, then some favourites of mine are aura sprays and oils. Now, the reason I like aura sprays and oils is because they are so unbelievably versatile. These are my ones from the shop, but obviously you can make your own energy clearing smudge oil, or maybe you have one from another metaphysical shop. That's all good. Same with the sprays. Now mine, for example, again, there's no fragrances or anything nasty in any of these. So this is a natural base oil with Palo Santo oil, white sage essential oil, and some other essential oils charged with sound, copper pyramid, mantra, lunar energy. And you can take some of this and you can anoint your crystals to clear them. You can do that with your tools. If your altar needs clearing, you can take some of this oil and anoint the 4 quarters of your altar. You can anoint the 4 directions of your room. You can use this oil to draw symbols above windows, above doors. Some people I know use my oil to actually put symbols on the underside of their car to protect their car. So you can really really multitask and multi-use this oil. It's small enough you can keep it in your handbag. So if you're in the office and the energy's getting a bit ick, you can't whip out your smudge stick, well, in most offices anyway, and a lighter and start wafting. But you can slyly under your desk take out your oil, put a little bit on there and dot it on the four corners of your monitor, on your telephone, on the four corners of your desk, and clear the energy and create a sacred container of protection with an oil. So really great for travel, home, everything. Sprays, another non-smoke option. Literally, you just take off the cap, give it a shake, spray. That could be over your crystals, that could be over your altar, that could be in your car, that could be around your room, pretty much anywhere you can spray with a beautiful clearing spray. Now, I do a smokeless smudge, an energy clearing spray, and this is actually my full moon, which has lunar energy in it as well, because I use this to clear my crystals before I charge them under the full moon. So sprays are really versatile and really great to use. Again, something you can take in your handbag. You may be able to get away with this in an office depending on your office. If you are going to stay at someone else's house or a hotel room, somewhere like that, oil and spray can travel with you and no one will be any the wiser. You can clear an entire hotel room with this in minutes and you are set to go. So a really great option there for energy clearing. Another one is salt. Now you can literally put it in a bowl. This is my one from the shop, so it does have herbs and things in it, and it has been charged with, if you've seen the video, with my massive quartz. But you can use any salt. I don't really recommend table salt though, because it does have anti-caking stuff in there, so it's not as great. But if it's all you've got, then absolutely use it. It worked great in Hocus Pocus. I do wish though I think that would be a really good marketing tool to actually put the disclaimer that they said about in Hocus Pocus on it, but I digress. I was watching that the other day. Anyway, back on target. You can sit your crystals in here. You can sit magical tools in this salt. You can use Himalayan salt. You can use Hawaiian black salt. You can use rock salt. Pretty much whatever you like. You can add herbs to it yourself if you like and make your own type of salt and sit things in it for depending what they are and how much they need clearing. Overnight, up to 24 hours you can put them in the salt. Some people find that just literally touching their item to salt will clear it. I don't. Definitely something to experiment with. You can add water to this salt and use this to clear a room as a sprinkle. You can sprinkle it in the four corners of the room, up high into the middle of the room using your fingers. You can wash down windows and doors and thresholds with this. So you can really get a full clearing. You can obviously, as you can see as we're talking about it, you can combine some of these methods. If you're just moving into a brand new house, then I would recommend a combination of these to really get it cleared out, not just one. Next is a cleansing method for yourself and your home. This is a bath tea, but can also be used as a floor wash. I have a video on how to make this. Move that. So in my jar, I keep my full moon charged tea light. I keep my full moon charged and programmed clear quartz point. And here is a load of herbs that have been made with intention. So you can add these to a bath as a bath tea. You can literally sprinkle them in the bath, or you can tie them up in muslin and use them like a little tea bag in the bath to clear yourself before ritual, after a hard day at work. or you can make up a big jug of this and add it to your mop water to wipe down any hardwood floors, any windows, doors, and completely clear the energy. Now, like I was just saying, if you've bought a new house, then I would pick either a smoke method or a room spray to clear the air in the area. And then I would anoint my windows and doors with my oil after I've done a wash down with a herbal floor wash like this, and that would really get you set to move in a brand new house. So like I say, the recipe for this is on the YouTube channel, so that's another way to clear energy. And something I actually created, because I've been asked about it so many times, is an energy clearing candle. Now, I don't believe you can do this with just any candle. I have tried over the years, and obviously you can clear anything with your own energy, but with an actual candle, just lighting a candle will not clear energy. So I made this candle after a lot of requests from customers who wanted an option that they could light a candle, set their intention for it to clear the room, and for it, once it's done its job, for them to actually feel the difference in the vibration of the room. So that's when I said about doing this candle, which is natural, GMO free, organic soya wax with natural essential oils, crystals that have been charged, herbs that have been charged. The only thing that's not completely natural is the full moon charged glitter, which is biodegradable glitter. So there's nothing that can harm anything in here. And once you light it in your room and the wax warms to the outside of the tin, you will feel the energy change within your room. So that's another way to clear energy. You can put it up on a higher shelf if you have kids and stuff. If you don't have a lot of time to do full clearings, then it's a great way to just clear energy in your bedroom or a kid's bedroom when they're not home, obviously. Or when they're off doing things and you've got it up high and you're there to watch, make sure nothing's going wrong. So we're dealing with fire, always got to give our little safety instructions. But an energy clearing candle is another way to go. Now for some, the last method I'm going to really talk about, well, second to last actually, is crystals. Some believe that black kyanite will clear anything that it touches just by you going like that to it. Now, I have talked about this in a previous video, so I'm not going to go into it too much here. I have found that black kyanite will protect and clear on here like for 12 hours, that it would clear it, but I don't find just by going all to something that that item is now clear. You may have a different experience of that, which is great. So again, experiment and see what works for you. And last but not least, but I can't fit it in here, is a energy clearing method, as well as a method to raise the vibration, like we were talking about at the beginning of this video, at the end of your clearing, and that is sound. In particular, crystal singing bowls I find extremely effective. You can use Tibetan singing bowls, drums, rattles. All of these methods can both clear a room or a person or an object, and you can use to infuse that object, person, room with a higher vibrational energy as well. So they're kind of a two-in-one. A crystal singing bowl is a bit of an investment, so is a drum, but it is well worth it if you can afford it, and that's a method that you are drawn to. So, I think we made it through. I hope you have enjoyed this video and found it useful. I think I got everything in that I was planning on. Oh, Palo Santo. One last thing, Palo Santo wood or sandalwood chips you can also burn. You can use them for clearing, but I actually find they work better for bringing in light energy and higher vibrations, sweet energy, healing energy at the end of an energy clearing. But again, something to experiment with. So that is it from me. I hope you have a wonderful day. Blessed be.